Milan can afford to offload players of Fruse's quality. Last season, they were, quite literally, unbeatable. Torino didn't do badly either, although a UEFA Cup place was soured by the fact that their bitter rivals Juventus finished one place higher. Milan's top scorer last season, as if you didn't know, was Marco van Basten. He scored 25 of their 74 Serie A goals. No one else came close to that total. Torino scored 42. Their Belgian international, Enzo Schifo, contributed 9. The clubs have met 112 times in Serie A, and Milan have a clear advantage. But interestingly, over the past decade, it's Torino who have the better record. It's a crucial season for both clubs. Over recent years, Milan have emerged from the shadows of their city neighbours, Inter, to become the dominant force in European football. If, over the coming campaign, AC Milan can retain Lo Scudetto and bring home the European Cup, Inter's traditional superiority will be laid to rest.
Noi avevamo 4 obiettivi, uno l'abbiamo incentrato vincendo la Supercoppa italiana contro il Parma. Adesso c'è il campionato, poi c'è la Coppa Italia e poi c'è la Coppa Europa. La rosa che ho a disposizione è una rosa straordinaria di giocatori di grande talento.
Torino are still trying to recapture their glory days. The side which won 4 consecutive titles in the 1940s was wiped out in a horrific plane crash. The club has yet to recover from that tragedy. Just 1 championship now in over 40 league campaigns. The dominance of their local rivals Juventus in the modern era has compounded the disappointment. Now, for the first time in years, Torino have started to look a realistic bet for the title. But today is their first big test.
Diciamo, ha sempre dato qualcosa in più di quanto noi speravamo potesse dare, e allora sono venuti i risultati. Ha sorpreso tantissima gente e magari anche il suo allenatore.
Giocare contro il Milan sicuramente dà una carica in più, anche perché abbiamo la possibilità di essere primi in classifica. Questo è un'occasione a non sbagliare.
Torino sold £25 million worth of talent in the summer. Amongst them, the midfield hardman Roberto Policano and the sweeper Roberto Cravero. But the move which caused the greatest stir was, of course, Gianluigi Lentini's transfer to Milan. Last season, Torino reached the first European final in their history. Although they were ultimately beaten by Ajax, Lentini emerged as a major star, playmaker, goal scorer, and occasional peacemaker. Born and bred in Turin, Lentini was the idol of the Torino tifosi. When his on-off transfer to Berlusconi's Milan finally went through, there was rioting in the streets. But the money had become too much for Torino or Lentini to turn down. 6 games into this campaign, and the £2 million a year winger has already earned his place amongst the galaxy of stars in the Milan side.
Penso che I tifosi del Milan siano calorosi altrettanto, o se non di più, di quelli del Toro, quindi nessun problema. È chiaro che adesso la responsabilità che ho addosso è notevole, sono pronto e speriamo di far bene.
Torino only spent a quarter of the money they raised during the summer, including £3 million on the Uruguayan striker Carlos Aguilera. Contrary to expectations, that tight budget seems to have left them with a more complete side.
Noi speriamo che anche di fronte a delle difficoltà più grandi di quelle attuali, tutti quanti riusciamo a avere ancora questo tipo di mentalità, che è un po' l'unica prerogativa che abbiamo a disposizione contro squadre che chiaramente hanno giocatori, almeno sulla carta, molto più bravi dei nostri.
So far, Milan have conceded 10 goals in 6 games. Last season, it was just 21 over the entire campaign. But their scoring record has been phenomenal, and anyone hoping to take their title will have to stop one of the greatest attacking forces the game has ever seen. As Parma found out last week. Torino's form has been based on the solid rather than the spectacular. Tight defence, efficient forward play, and an iron discipline which demands results above all else. Last week, they struggled against promoted Udinese, but they still took the points thanks to Enzo Scifo's first-half penalty. Of the top 5, only Milan and Torino remain undefeated. Both will be aiming to change that today. Will free-scoring Milan overcome the early pretenders to their throne? Find out after the break.
From Peter Brackley, a very good afternoon to you on another day of high passion and eager anticipation in the San Siro Stadium. The top 2 in Serie A in conflict then today. Milan, the champions, a record-breaking unbeaten run of 41 consecutive league games behind them, against Torino, last season's UEFA Cup finalists, and the team currently hardest on the heels of Milan at the head of the table. 6 matches, 6 wins for Milan. The early signs, of course, are ominous for their leading rivals. Torino also unbeaten so far, and they will carry, I'm sure, the best wishes of the rest of Serie A in their attempt to inflict on Milan their first defeat since May of last year. Can they do it? Well, it will take a brave man to bet against Milan in any match they play. Their phenomenal record over the past 18 months a tribute to their teamwork as well as outstanding individuals, no matter which 11 they call on. Well, this is the side selected by their coach, Fabio Capello. Injuries have denied him the services of the Dutch pair, Ruud Gullit and Frank Rijkaard. His foreigners today are Marco van Basten, Jean-Pierre Papin and the Croats, Voni Boban, his first league start of the season. So much depth in the Milan squad, they've used 21 different players in the league so far this season. Well, Torino's loss of Lentini sparked off riots in Turin. The scorn heaped upon the president for letting him go still hasn't subsided, but at least the team's promising start has proved some consolation. The signing of the Uruguayan Carlos Aguilera from Genoa looks a sound one, and certainly in Enzo Scifo, the Belgian international, Torino have one of the most respected players in European football. It's a team renowned for their meanness away from home, but their defensive resilience will surely today be under the sternest scrutiny. A very wet afternoon in Milan. It's been raining now for some time, so the surface is going to be a little slippery as the two teams, led by their captains there, Fusi of Torino, Baresi, of course, of Milan, prepare for the kickoff. Umbrellas everywhere in the stadium today. First against second in Serie A then. An absorbing contest in prospect. Milan's 100% league record challenged by their closest rivals, who are hoping today to become the first side to beat the champions in the San Siro since Atalanta won here way back in March of last year. Torino themselves haven't been beaten in the league since March, but they haven't won away since that month either. And alongside me in the commentary position today, the former Tottenham and England midfield maestro, Glenn Hoddle. Nice to have you with us today, Glenn. Glenn, of course, now player manager of Swindon Town, and I'm sure very much looking forward to this game, Glenn.
Yes, very much so, Peter, yes. The atmosphere is absolutely marvellous, and it's going to be an interesting game. With a little bit of the wet surface there, I think it's going to test out the techniques of the players for sure, but a lot depends on how Torino can calm themselves down in the early periods of the game and not get intimidated by this great side and the great support that's there.
Well, disappointment that Rijkaard isn't playing, that Gullit isn't playing, but that's a measure of the strength and depth they have. They can bring in Boban, who's a Yugoslav international. And of course, they have Jean-Pierre Papin, who you know all about from your time in France. Well,
yes, one of the best finishers in the world, Jean-Pierre. Played against him many times for Monaco, and a top-class finisher. But as you say, they've got players that can come from the bench if anything's going wrong and change the play.
So then, away we go. Torino in the all-white strip, attacking the goal to our left. And there's Lentini, very nearly finding Van Basten. In fact, he did in the end, as the ball ricocheted off the defender. I think the flag was up anyway. In fact, the referee waving play on. Marco Van Basten, 8 goals already this season, to add to his stunning total of 25 in the last campaign. And the feeling is he started this season even better than the last one. He does sometimes take time to settle into a season, Van Basten. Not this time, though. He's been in the most inspirational form. This is Annoni, piratical figure at the back. He'll be one of the markers for Torino. Probably picking up Papin, I would think. Here is Papin. Now Lentini getting cheered by the Torino fans, as you'd expect. It's a very controversial move to Milan for Lentini. Created a lot of ill feeling, a very acrimonious move. And the figures quoted, which ended up around 13 million. Even the Vatican had a say. They reckon those figures were immoral. Far too much money to pay for a footballer. Buy a few players for Swindon for that, Glenn.
I could buy 2 complete squads, yes, Peter. But it's taken a little bit of while to settle down this game. I thought this might happen. Obviously, there's a lot at stake. Both teams at the top of the division, only 2 points between them. But it'll take a little time to settle. And the referee's got a job on his hands to make things, you know, nice and calm, so the players can get on and play.
There is referee Pierluigi Collina. This is Antonioli back in goal for Milan, having been left out recently after an injury. Rossi came in. Now Antonioli, who was the under-21 goalkeeper in their European Championship success, is now firmly ensconced again as the #1 for Milan. Forward by Casagrande, or Musi to chase. Tackling with Costa Curta, that's Musi who's come away with it. Now Aguilera with Casagrande, and the flag's up. We're offside over on the far side. There's the referee, well-known figure in Italian circles. It is Bald Pate.
I thought it was Kojak, Peter.
He's actually only 32. And he's a very respected referee in Italy, making good progress in the game. Baresi now. Also 32. He's been a shining light in European football for so many seasons now. Annoni. Touched off by Aguilera. Now Schifo. Aguilera in support. This is Sordo. The man who really has been given the mantle of Lentini in the side this season. Looks rather like him too. Long flowing black hair. Schifo now, playmaker in the Belgian, the Belgian side, he is as well, but for this Torino team, so much revolves around him. Lentini will be so keen to impress today. Papin, given the centre though by Annoni. I think the referee's given the free kick. What did you make of that one, Ben?
No, I don't think that was a free kick there, Peter. I think as he's going for the ball, he's just touched it. He's caught him, but I think with the intimidation of the crowd there, I think the referee's given the free kick. But it hasn't really settled yet. I don't think the game's really going to settle for another, 3 or 4 minutes. I think things are going to settle down in the next few minutes.
Albertini taking the kick. It goes Lentini, whacked away. Baresi with plenty of time here. Baresi, who's now retired, of course, from the international scene. What a sad loss that will be. Still very much a part of this Milan side. Unbeaten now in 41 league games. And if they extend that to 42, they will equal Nottingham Forest's record, which began way back in November '77. By Albertini, safely into the arms of Luca Marchegiani, who's the current #1 goalkeeper in Italy, ahead of Pagliuca of Sampdoria and Mortazegra, of course, of Inter. Fabio Capello down on the bench. You can never see what they can see from down there, Glenn.
It's very low view, isn't it? It's very difficult from any bench, but that seems to be almost under the ground there, which all they're going to see is a lot of boots at the moment.
Schifo with the first header, then Casagrange. We by Baresi. The tackle from Bruno is an unfair one. He's a pretty uncompromising customer, is Pasquale Bruno. He's more like Frank Bruno sometimes. Really puts himself about. And he was sent off in the week. Young defender, drafted into the starting lineup. Something of a surprise. Montonico, the coach, making changes today. And at one stage, it was thought he was going to leave out Casagrande. But he clearly had second thoughts. So the former Brazilian international playing up front with Aguilera. Baresi, majestic new forward. Maldini will be patrolling that left flank, as he does with such vigour and style. Donadoni now.
Yeah, they're finding it a little bit difficult at the moment just to get a little bit of rhythm in their play, Milan. They haven't really kept possession either side, and until they can do that, I think then they'll have a chance of opening up this tight Torino defence. But they haven't seemed to manage that so far.
24 home league games now without defeat. Milan. They were held in the week by Cagliari in the Italian Cup, but it was a weakened Milan side, if there is such a thing. Left out some of their stars, brought in some other stars. Albertini, another of the Italian internationals on view. That's Montonico, the coach of Torino. Led them to the UEFA Cup final. They lost to Ajax last season. Now, Annoni. Chance to cross it in. And a handling offence in there. Free kick to Milan.
They're so organised, Peter, the way they come out there, you know, the lads going up for the cross to head down to somebody for a second ball, and they're all come out as a unit, and they've caught the two players there for Torino offside. I think the way to break this side down is to come from deep. You've got to come from behind that back four and try and get deep runners coming through. And if you can do that, then I think you've got a chance.
Well, then on Bruno by Papan. Yes, and the glimmer of light for all the other teams in Serie A is that they have been conceding goals, Milan. 3 against Lazio, 3 against Fiorentina, and 4, of course, against Pescara. So they haven't been as tight defensively as you might expect, Milan. Of course, they always feel they're going to score more goals than the opposition, as invariably they seem to do. Aguilera, busy figure for Torino. Here's Schifo. Had a marvellous first season with Torino, hoping to go on from there in this campaign. Annoni. Baresi's head up. Casagrande, and there's no flag. Aguilera! Good save by Antonioli. Suddenly Milan were called out there. And it was a clear chance for Aguilera.
Well, that's right. I've just mentioned the fact that the Milan do play an offside trap, and they got caught out with a first-time pass. And really, it was a tremendous save, but he would have, you know, he's going to be very, very disappointed he hasn't put it past the keeper and into the net there. But again, it just shows that Milan, you can break them down if the timing of the run's right.
Aguilera looked across then to check that the flag was down. It was. And he will be most disappointed he didn't tuck that one away. He didn't get too many chances in this game. Aguilera, who has scored 4 times this season, has been a proven goal scorer in his time with Genoa. Hit by Boban. A corner to Milan. 10 minutes gone. No score. Certainly the best chance, the only chance so far, has fallen to Torino. This is Boban. Always post Maldini forward, and he's a real threat on the set pieces. Not this time, though. Here's Costa Curta with Baresi. Noni was given away to Lentini, and then Papin lost it. Donadoni, mistakes all round here. Chipped through by Donadoni, and Papin caught offside.
I think they're complaining actually that it was the first offside, and the linesman gave it for the first offside on Papin, and I think the Torino players were a little bit incensed that he didn't pick it up, and play went on for a few passes, and the ref wasn't aware of the linesman putting up his flag.
I wouldn't argue with this referee. He looks a bit fierce. Aguilera. Again, they're appealing for offside, and this time the flag is up in favour of Milan. Maldini's pass just squirted away then from Van Basten. Not into their stride yet, Milan. Van Basten, away by Bruno. And here's the counter-attack for Torino, and they've got 4 or 5 players up here. Schifo. Support from Venturin. Musi is a former Milan player, had some 30 games for Milan over a couple of seasons. Lentini quickly closed out by Casagrande. To Milan.
It's all a little bit scrappy at this moment in time. It's there's nobody settling on the ball. There's no passing movements that you certainly expect from Milan. We haven't seen anything of Van Basten or Papin up front yet, but the surface is making it a little bit difficult.
This is Gambaro in for the injured Tassotti. Van Basten running high there. Almost reached it too.
Yes, he was close to getting that one, but the goalkeeper looked nice and secure there. He come out and took a good catch. That'll give him a lot of confidence.
Venturin. Baresi, though, scattering back. Again, Milan have given the ball away, initially to Aguilera. Well, one back by Boban. Got the vote ahead of Savicevic, ex-Yugoslav.
Some jump from Van Basten there.
That would have been a spectacular goal if he'd reached it. Torino survive, and they've acquitted themselves fairly well in this opening 15 minutes. All their previous matches so far in the league this season away from home have been draws. This is their hardest test. And nobody in well. And Basten, though, got a touch on. Gambaro. Goes Lentini. Towards Papin. A little nudge by him. And Bruno, which he is ill-advised to do.
Yeah, I think it was just a little nudge there as he could see the ball was on the wrong side for him. As you see, his arms just caught him, and the big man's took a dive at the other end of the area. But Milan need to settle themselves down and start passing some short passes into midfield. They're playing far too long at the moment, and not really giving Van Basten or Papin any sort of decent service to get hold of the ball.
Maldini threading it on. The superstars they have at the club. Of course, losing Rijkaard is a big blow for them.
Yes, he sits just in front of that back four, and he picks a lot of balls up, and he sprays things right and left, and brings other players into play, and they have missed him. I mean, it's the amount of talent that they have got But every side needs that type of player in the side to control things in the centre of the pitch and bring your Van Batstens and your Gullits when Gullit was playing into the game.
Yes, the news on Ruud Gullit. He could be out for 2 or 3 weeks with an injury. Rijkaard had recovered from a calf injury, but now has a sinus problem apparently. Gambaro. And he's replaced Tassotti. He is out with a damaged toe. Gambaro, former Parma player. It's his 3rd start of the season. There's talk that Gullit may be on the way and that Dennis Bergkamp may be coming from Ajax. A man who's said this week his hero was a chap called Glenn Hoddle. I'm sure you read that one. You cut that one out, didn't you?
The check's in the post.
Dennis Bergkamp, who's the leading goal scorer in Dutch football and a prolific striker. And it seems if anyone in the world is worth having, then Milan want him. Just noting as Lentini goes down there on the bench, De Napoli, the Italian international, who's also moved to Milan this season, hasn't really had a look in so far because of injury, but another top player acquired by Milan. Maldini with the challenge well, and again the flag is up. Free kick to Torino.
I can't really see what he's given that for. And maybe if there was an action replay, we might see, but I didn't see any foul there. And it's the first time they've got a decent ball in from the left. They've got down the left a few times, but they haven't got a decent cross in. And I think Van Batsten was just a little bit too high for him.
Dreadful clearance by Marco Gianni. It's turned into a useful attack. Casagrande. I think Van Basten may have caught the ball with his hand on that cross. Free kick now to Torino. Had 4 clean sheets in their 7 games so far, which gives you an idea how secure they are at the back. Even though they've lost Provero, their sweeper from last season, he's moved on, of course, to Lazio with Gaza. Aguilera, watched by Baresi. And it's Annoni taking the free kick. Away by Lentini, going as far as Musi. And now the free kick given to Milan.
There you can see the pressure that was put on the player. As the ball's been cleared, the whole Milan defence and midfield come out as a unit, put pressure on the ball, and they're very, very difficult side to play against. Obviously, when they've got the ball, they've got enough offensive players to cause you problems, but defensively, they're a tough side to break down.
Musi. By Gambaro. It's Schifo. Neat skill then by the Belgian, and a rather careless pass. That goes Boban, right on the edge of the box.
That was such a shame. It was a beautiful bit of skill from Schifo, and then suddenly he's tried to find the wide man, where really it would have been better just sliding the ball across to his defender. But that was a little pull on the shirt, and I think, good decision by the referee there, just outside the penalty area.
Soldo rather was the offender on Boban. Has much to prove today, Boban. His first league appearance. Spent last season out on loan to Bari. And really only in the side because of the injuries to Rijkaard and Gullit. Given away then by Boban. Baresi. The cut by Van Basten. Away by Bruno. But here's Casagrande. Now Schifo. Baresi to tidy up at the back for Milan. Albertini. Who's made enormous progress, Albertini, over the past couple of seasons. Well, even he is apparently guaranteed a place in the side with the likes of Iranio and De Napoli waiting in the wings. The decision in favour of Torino, who is so excited at faring better than Juventus at the moment. They're great big city rivals. Two teams who share the same stadium, of course.
I think they've definitely got it wrong tactically at the moment, Milan. They're playing a couple of short passes, and really they should be continuing them short passes right through the pitch. And on this greasy surface, they're playing a lot of long balls up to the front, and really it's food and drink for these Torino defenders.
We certainly haven't seen the normal style of Milan so far, that flowing style, so much cohesion from them normally. Costa Curta now. Up towards Van Basten. De Boban. So far, rather disappointing start to the game, really. Torino won't see it that way. They've had the best opportunity, and Marchegiani here hasn't really been extended.
They'll be very pleased with the way things are going at the moment. I would imagine that their coach is going to be very pleased if they can come out of this game with a point.
Backhand's header. Now what can Lentini do here? Got away from Musi, and the cross was just too long for Boban. Sordo. Schifo. Positive break here by Torino. And Noni pouring forward. Those undershorts. Aguilera now. Boban. And the Milan crowd doing their best to elevate their team. And they become rather impatient when they're not winning. They're used to their side being in front. Bruno whacks it into the stand.
Jean-Pierre is asking the referee to book him for kicking the ball away. Obviously he's overlooked that, but
Bruno actually was sent off against Juventus last season, refused to go. There were some quite horrific scenes for a while before he was finally persuaded to leave the field. He got an 8-match ban for that. Well, I think it was later reduced. He's a very volatile character, Pasquale Bruno, wearing the number 2 for Torino. Schifo. Playing with a lot of confidence, Torino, which stems from this unbeaten run. They finished third last season, their best for 6 campaigns. 5 points behind Juve, 13 adrift of Milan. Certainly aren't looking overall at all. Marchegiani, though, having to come a long way then as Papin went marauding through.
Now the keeper's done a great job there. He's come out, he's been alert. They've given the ball away sloppily, and he's come out and done his job. Becomes like a second sweeper, really.
And the sweeper role is one you know well, of course, playing it at Swindon. What are the qualities you think a sweeper should have, Ben?
I like to see the sweeper making the difference on the attacking side of the game. I think it's great when a sweeper can come through when it's a tight match in midfield and make the difference and bring players into play. Obviously, you've got to be able to defend as well, but I think it's a great springboard for attack.
Torino looking to attack now, but Schifo is sent tumbling to the ground. He's the man who could make things happen for Torino, Schifo, if he's allowed to. Costa Curta, that pretty horrendous tackle.
Yeah, it was a nasty little tackle there. Schifo's the lad who can make things tick for Torino. If they can get him on the ball a little bit further up the park, I think he could cause a few problems for Milan today. He's an extremely talented player. And, I've played against him a few times in France. He's had exceptional games whenever I've played against him.
Schifo, who was loaned out to Bordeaux and Auxerre when things weren't going too well for him on his first spell in Italy. And there's Schifo now, beaten away by Antonioli.
That's a great effort. He's just got a nice little touch on it first, hit the target, and the goalkeeper's decided to parry the ball away. I'm not quite sure whether he had a good view of it.
Brackley away, 25 minutes gone. That's two opportunities now that Torino have conjured up for themselves, and they are certainly posing problems for Milan. Lentini. Just keeping it in play. There's danger here for Torino, but Marchegiani read the situation perfectly.
Yeah, they needed to get a few more people in the box there, Milan. But there's a shot from Schifo, and as I say, the goalkeeper there has just parried the ball away. Whether he thought that, you know, the greasy surface of the ball, it might have been a danger for him. But they've had two good chances now, two good efforts at goal, and you know they're showing a little bit more composure, I would say, at this moment in time than Milan.
Capello down there on the bench won't be too happy with the way things are going for Milan. They haven't imposed themselves on this game in their normal fashion. This is Costa Curta now. Lentini, the £13 million man. On towards Papan, who was fouled by Bruno.
Bruno's not happy again there. He didn't think that was a foul. I think there was a little bit of pushing going on there. There's always a lot of fouls in Italian football. They're man-for-man marking. You're going to get quite a lot of that, and it's a dangerous position now on the edge of the penalty area.
Fusi, the sweeper there, just arguing point with the referee. Rest assured, he will have the final say, this fella. But a chance here then for Milan. They have the shooting power of the likes of Albertini, Van Basten, of course. Maldini is in that ball, joining the Torino players. Driving rate now in the San Siro. And the shot was deflected. Just sprung wide. Oh, a real let-off then.
Yes, I mean, that was a little bit of... it would have been unfortunate for Torino if that had gone in. The goalkeeper, I think, would have had it covered going into the other corner, but it's just sneaked past that post. And they're the sort of things that have been going for Milan for quite some time. And today, obviously, it didn't go there that time.
Somehow survived, back in by Baresi. The defender on the line cleared that one. Here's Papan. Marchegiani with the save. I think it was Maldini's shot that was cleared off the line. Papan close to scoring as well.
It was a wonderful volley. He's done magnificent to get that ball off the line, but what a volley. I wouldn't be happy with the Torino marking, but then straight after that, Papan had a half chance with his left peg, and now they're beginning to assert a little bit of pressure, which you would have expected a little bit earlier in the game.
Mondonico wants it tighter out there from his Torino defenders, and they were certainly at full stretch then, Torino, to hold Milan. Baresi wasn't a very positive clearance though by him. Here's Gambaro now. Excellent pass, finding Lentini. Papan's got streaking through the middle. Bruno just got a foot in. Excellent defensive play then by Bruno. And he saved his team then, no question, with Papan lurking behind him.
That's wonderful defending. As the ball was played down the line, I was watching Bruno's run with Papan, and there was no way he was going to let Papan get in goal side of him, and a tremendous piece of defending there. And it was nice to see the goalkeeper kept a cool head as well on the back pass.
Who's so sharp. He's scored in the last two games now since winning his place back in the side. Often don't see him for long periods in a game, and then all of a sudden he'll score a goal out of nothing. It's the mark of a great striker. Maldini now. Baresi's gone forward. Well-timed tackle though by number Fusi. He's taken on the sweeper's role with Cavero and moved on.
As the first time in the game that we've seen Baresi make a breakout from the back. And sometimes you think, well, if he gets caught and you can win possession, you might get a chance at the other end of the pitch. But they are so well organised, Milan, that they do keep their midfield player will slip in for him when he does come forward. But I think we've got to see a few more runs from Baresi to try and make the difference and try and assert Milan into this game and make them be a little bit more positive. I don't feel today that they're quite as positive as they have been in the last few weeks.
Beginning to sense now that the rhythm is returning. Maldini leaving the free kick. Taken by Donadoni. Maldini's made his way into the penalty box. It won't reach him, but it will reach Lentini. Marchisciani is there. No real power on the header from Lentini.
As the ball's come in, it's come a long distance, and sometimes you see the Italian goalies might have fancied that, but he's done well to get a header on it, but just not enough power to guide it into one of the corners. So it was an easy save for the goalkeeper in the end.
Going on, says the referee. Boban taking on Sordo. Hit by Maldini. Didn't reach that Baston though. Away come Torino. There was only Aguilera upfield. And they're being pressed back in their own half at the moment, Torino.
Good to see the referee playing on there. There was a nasty little challenge, but the guy got up, had the ball at his feet, and the referee said to him, play on, because they had an advantage. It was nice to see.
Baresi, straight though to Casagrande. Schifo. Cois. Free kick to Torino. Best defensive record in Serie A last season, only 20 conceded. Torino, even Milan a bit more, 21 and Juve 22.
At the moment, they haven't looked to get round the outside at all. They've had some good possession, and every time they get in a half-decent position, they're trying to force things through the centre of the pitch, which is going to be very difficult against this Milan defence. We haven't really seen anybody get out wide on the right or on the left and try and exploit Milan down the wings.
Aguilera and Noni organising the set piece. No way through this time. Away comes Lentini, who of course did provide that width for Torino last season. Though he had a much freer role for Torino than he has for Milan. Barro's quick free kick, and Noni standing firm. Really has improved enormously, Noni, over the past couple of years. Standing marker now, one of the best defenders in the Italian game. Now a yellow card for Aguilera. First caution of the game between the top two in Italy.
There's nothing much in that, is there? I think that's a very harsh book in there, and it's interesting he's kept his head though. He's a fiery little chap, and he's kept his head though. And it's good to see he's going to try and get on with the game and not let that affect his game.
It really is a very, very wet afternoon in Milan. No goals between Milan and Torino. Milan with a 100% record at the top. Torino, the team in second place, also unbeaten. So something has to give today. Another Torino free kick. That's the foul count so far.
I think it's a day for quite a few fouls. You're going to see a few fouls on conditions like this. You know, the greasy surface. It's always inviting people to come in and try and attempt tackles.
And Noni, Schifo. Off goes Van Basten. But covering though. That's Fusi down.
Yeah, the ball for Van Basten there was just a little bit too straight. If it was a bit more on the angle, it would have given him a chance to to have retained possession, but I just think he's just caught the lad there as he's toppled over, but there was nothing malicious in it, just as he slid in there.
10 minutes to half-time, and Emiliano Monaco, the coach of Torino, is getting a ticking off with the referee, presumably for not controlling himself down on the bench.
He's certainly taken charge, this referee, hasn't he?
Very impressive.
Yes.
Albertini claiming it was handled. And off the chest. Yellow cards coming out. Is it for the handball or for arguing?
I think it was for the handball. I think he's seen the lad just put his hand out and stop the ball, which is right, really, because you know, the ball was a lovely little dinky ball around the outside, and Milan would have been in for a good position. So I would agree with that.
Could see the player cautioned. Oh, Marquezhani, just for a moment, then I thought he dropped it. He did drop it, but he pounced again before that bastard could for Milan. Hearing of a goal in the Genoa derby in the Luigi Ferrari Stadium. Sampdoria are leading Genoa by 1-0. It's an own goal. And Juventus are 2 up against struggling Ancona. Atalanta 1, Napoli 1. Those are the latest scores from other matches. All the half-times, of course, during the half-time break in this game in the San Siro. And indeed, we'll have extended highlights of the Sampdoria-Genoa game in Paul Gascoigne's programme. That's at 10:30. Gazzetta on Channel 4, Football Italia. Don't miss it, all the goals and good features too. Albertini. Albaresi. Here's Donadoni. To Torino.
Certainly got good awareness, this referee. There was a lot of shirt pulling going on there off the ball, and he managed to see it as the player was going to play the ball forward. He saw the striker doing that, and I think this referee's as good a ref as I've seen in the Italian league.
No flag there. Antonioli, another long kick upfield. Put it on by Van Basten. Oh, some shirt tugging there. On Papin. Oh, the referee has given the decision the other way. So you see that one again. What do you think, Glenn?
Well, I think from the view where the referee was, there was a definite foul from Bruno here, but I think just before, Papin had blocked Bruno from getting back. And I think that's what the referee saw first of all. Definitely Bruno, you know, nearly took his shirt off Papin's, but knowing Papin, he could have easily done that. He does like to wind the defenders up, and it was, for me, at the end of the day, that was good refereeing again.
Goes Papin once more, and Annoni heading back to Marquezhani as Torino continue to look really hard to break down. Chifo with Aguilera, Lettini. Carelessly done though. Here's Casagrande now. Chifo.
Again, you see there they've kept the ball quite nicely, and they've attempted to go right through the centre of the pitch with the straight balls, and it's just not coming off for them at the moment. I'd like to see them try and get around. They must get around the outside of Milan and give them problems.
Going against Milan. Annoni will take this free kick then for Torino. On by Aguilera. Time though for Baresi to clear, not very effectively. Casagrande losing out to Albertini. Donadoni. Boban. Tackle was from young Cois, just 20 years old. Baresi. Boban. And harmlessly through by Baresi.
It's unlike Baresi to waste the ball so easily like that. There's Capello. He certainly is. He's not going to be happy. He's going to be going at half-time, and I would imagine that we'll see a better performance in the second half from Milan. They really haven't done themselves any justice in the first 45 minutes. The fact that they're the home side.
Off goes Papin. Marchegiani quickly though to the rescue for Torino, with 5 minutes of the first half to go. By Schifo, he's working hard. Annoni searching for Aguilera. It was Costa Curta's header. Not a very good one. No goals here, but plenty in other matches. Juventus have now scored a third goal. It's against Ancona. And it's Roma 0, Brescia 3. A real turn up there in the Olympic Stadium. Roma 3-0 down at home. And it's 2-0 for Sampdoria against Genoa in the Genoese derby, and it's Marco Lana who scored the second goal, fairly rare one for him, for Sampdoria. Gambaro, too long for Papin. Baresi. Donadoni for Milan. Torino kept back in their own half. They've been so well organised.
It's the first time that Milan have done this. They've kept the ball for a long period of time. They haven't done this all through the game. This is okay. Torino have got themselves back in there behind the ball, but there's times really when they've got to do that more. They've got to shove the ball around, make new angles, and try and open them up, because at the moment the quick ball to the front players is not working.
Luis in quickly. Maldini taking the throw. Donadoni. Now Albertini. Again the free kick given to Torino. Has he given it the other way? Don't think he's given this one to Milan. As Albertini went down, and the referee wants the kick taken again.
Again, I think he's right there. I think 2 or 3 yards, in the midfield is not a problem, but there it's a danger area.
There's danger here. Marchegiani smothers the shot though. Boban. 2 minutes of the first half to go. I think that came off a knee of Baresi then.
The ball's just popped down to him. He's done well to get a shot in, actually. There's 2 defenders there, and he's got his foot around the ball. But for his first game, he's slowly coming into the game now, Boban. I think he started a little bit tentative and a bit tense, which is understandable, but I think he's slowly coming in. He plays on the left side, but he's naturally right-footed. And we might see him progress and get into the game even more so in the second half.
And Torino will be delighted then that they've kept Van Basten so quiet.
Yes, they have done. The 2 up front there. Papin is a player. It doesn't matter if he's having a blinding game or a nightmare. He can still put the ball in the back of the net. So they won't be able to go asleep on him right up to the 90th minute.
Boban. Expectations so high, of course, of Boban, following in the footsteps of Frank Rijkaard and Hullet. And as Glenn is saying, his confidence seems to be growing now as the game wears on. Goes Busi, outsmarted by Gambaro.
Great defensive work there from Schifo. He's done some lovely things on the ball, but his teammate fell over the ball and he got back and made the difference between getting possession again.
Foul by Annoni, who then prevented Van Basten from taking the kick. And the referee reminding you who's in charge. There's too much doubt about that in this game. This is Albertini. Looking over the free kick, wasn't a good one though. Too easily dealt with by those Torino defenders who've been right on top of their game.
That's the second time that Bruni's had a free kick in that area, and he really hasn't delivered a good ball in there. They've got plenty of bodies in there, and they just need a quality ball in there to put some danger on that Torino defence.
Albertini for Gambaro. Busi, though, was there. Here's Schifo. We're now into injury time at the end of the first half. Donadoni sweeps it wide. Maldini. Baresi. Maldini again. Again, the service wasn't good enough. In goes Papan. Now Costa Curta. A lot of possession here for Milan. They haven't been able to turn it to good effect. Frustrating afternoon so far for Marco van Basten.
I think he's complaining that off the ball that he's getting his shirt pulled and he's getting, you know, a little bit of a foul before the ball's arriving. He's trying to explain that to the referee, but I would have thought he'd have known all about that from the amount of time he's been here to the game.
Well, they're so used to things going their way, Milan. That really hasn't been the case so far today. So maybe there's more frustration than usual for the likes of Van Basten, who knows he's going to come in for such careful attention. The last few seconds now of the first half. Boban will take this free kick towards Papan. Didn't get to him though. Donadoni. Van Basten now. Maldini has stayed forward. Still Van Basten. And that's the end of the first half, which has been, from Milan's point of view, a very disappointing one, and from Torino's, a very satisfying one. Torino certainly had chances to have scored themselves, and Milan had a good spell in the first half when they might have got one, but the coach Mondonico of Torino has seen his team defend well, and at half-time there were no goals. It's Milan 0, Torino 0. We'll be back after the break with Gazza's golden goals. Join us again.
Welcome back. Now you can win a dream trip to Italy to watch Gazza's Lazio against AC Milan in March. First, watch these golden goals. Goal number 1, Ruben Sosa for Inter in their 3-1 win over Juventus. Goal number 2, this by Ciccio Baiano, one of the 2 goals he scored for Fiorentina against Sampdoria. Goal number 3, Gabriel Batistuta, who also scored for Fiorentina in their 4-0 victory. Goal number 4, Lazio's Diego Fusa scored this one against Atalanta. Goal number 5, Igor Dobrovolsky for Genoa against Pescara. Goal number 6, Eddie Bivi when he equalized for Pescara in the same game. Now, to win a chance to watch Lazio versus Milan in Italy, just ring the following number: 0891 555 444 and vote for your top 3 choices. The first caller, picked out by our computer whose selection matches Paul Gascoigne's, wins that dream trip to Italy to see Lazio in action against AC Milan. And for 5 runners-up, a selection of Euro souvenirs, including Italian club scarves, flags and badges. The winner of Gazza's last Golden Goals competition was Michael Gatehouse of Kew in Surrey, who wins a trip to see Lazio play AC Milan. His choice? 3rd place, Francesco Del Anno for Udinese against Napoli. 2nd place, Diego Fuse for Lazio against Milan. And in 1st place, Roma's Thomas Hessler against Inter. And these 5 runners-up also picked them in the correct order, 3, 2, 4. But finally, a reminder of this week's 6 goals. The lines are open until next Friday. The winners will be chosen then and announced at this time in next Sunday's programme.
Welcome back to Football Italia on Channel 4. No goals then in the San Siro at half-time. Milan against Torino, the top 2 in the Serie A this season, and it's stalemate at this stage. Now, latest scores from other games. Atalanta 1, Napoli 1. Perrone for Atalanta after Fonseca, almost inevitably these days, had given Napoli the lead. The Uruguayan international, 1-1 Atalanta-Napoli. Cagliari are leading Fiorentina. That's a goal from Francescoli on 38 minutes. Cagliari 1 up against Fiorentina, the free scoring side of the Italian league. Foggia 0, Parma 0. Juventus are strolling it at the moment against Ancona, 3-0 up. Dino Baggio, De Marchi and Di Canio, the scorers for Juventus in the first half. Pescara 0, Inter 0. Inter, of course, who did so well to beat Juve last week. Roma 1, Brescia 3. Carnevale getting one back for Roma after they've got 3 down. An own goal from Benedetti, the former Torino player. Saurini getting the other 2 for Brescia, and then Roma giving themselves a fighting chance for the second half with a goal from Andrea Carnevale. Sampdoria 2, Genoa 0, an own goal, a shot from Mancini that was deflected in, and Lana with the second goal for Sampdoria. And it's Udinese 0, Paul Gascoigne's Lazio 0 at half-time. So the teams returning then for the second half. And I wonder, Glenn Hoddle, alongside me here, what you feel the respective coaches have had to say at half-time.
Well, I think the Torino coach will be very happy with the way things are going. He'll say same tactics, really. They'll get behind the ball, keep it nice and tight, get players forward. I like the fact that they're not just come to defend. They have got players forward at the right time, and Schifo's got himself into the Milan half and done a few good, nice things. And they always look as if they could break and get a goal. But obviously Milan must now assert themselves on this side. They must play a lot better, and I think they've got to keep possession a little bit more. Yes, they can go forward very quickly when they just win the ball, but I think a little bit more patience is needed, and to get round the back and give Van Basten and Papan the chances what they'll be looking for.
So we're all set then for the second half. Milan now attacking from right to left as we look out. Really too many opportunities for Milan in the first half. The deflected free kick from Albertini. Papan had a couple, and of course the shot from Maldini, which in fact we think hit the bar with Casagrande on the goal line, maybe getting a touch on the way. But otherwise Torino have stood firm at the back, and of course had their moments too at the other end. Chances for Aguilera and Schifo, with a shot that was saved by Antonioli. Here's Lentini now. A man who hasn't really been all that effective. Operating wide on the right for Milan, with Boban over on the left.
Yeah, he's been a little bit quiet today. Hasn't really, done the things that we have seen him do in the past. But perhaps I would prefer to see him maybe as the game progresses, get himself involved inside the pitch, in the centre of the pitch. Perhaps there's a little link up between Van Basten and Papan. might cause Torino a few more problems. At the moment, they've got that 4 across the midfield, and perhaps, you know, just by changing that tactically, might give them a little bit more possession and a little more thrust up there, where it's going to hurt Torino.
And of course, a lot of options on the bench for Fabio Capello, the Milan coach. He has Simone there and Massaro, who so often comes on and changes the course of the game, and will be considering himself very unlucky not to be in the starting lineup again. There's Lettini with Musi.
Yeah, he's fouled the guy there, but he's obviously come off a lot worse. He's made a bad blow on his, I think it's his shoulder, which is very dangerous for him. But it looks as if he's coming back on to restart the game.
Here's the free kick. Van Basten and co were in there hoping, but to no avail. Baresi, Donadoni. That's a foul then on Maldini. And a rather late lunge by Casagrande.
Yeah, definite foul here. Look, he's just got a wave there, just missed time. Casagrande.
Striker's tackle.
Just made sure with the left foot as well. A double one.
This is Donadoni with the free kick then for Milan. Maldini was there, and Lettini, and it's a corner.
You see the amount of Torino bodies they've got back in there on them set pieces, and they've really dealt very well with Milan set pieces at the moment. Some dangerous balls been put in, but they've got bodies back there. It's very difficult to break down.
4 corners now then for Milan. Boban taking the kick. Van Basten released by Annoni, who was very impressive in the first half. Donadoni now, teasing defenders. Gambaro. On from Lettini. And there's nobody upfield for Torino.
No, they've had to sustain a little bit of pressure there early on in this half, and they've coped with that very well. And if they can get the ball now down on the park and start playing a little bit, they'll get themselves back in the game. But they've defended very well there, you know, under a little bit of pressure. That's probably what Milan needed, a bit of pressure, but they've done well.
Lettini skipping past the tackles, but all in vain. Aguilera. Cois. Italian under-21 international Cois. Preferred in the side to Sergio, the former Lazio player, who's been left out. Mistake by Casagrande, in by Papin, just too long for Van Basten. Annoni inevitably was with him, and Van Basten lost his footing. Sordo. Kick to Torino. The referee, I think, indicating it's a throw. Indeed it is. Taken by Annoni. Schifo kept that superbly then, and Albertini wins it back. Two very inventive and productive players together. And the ball safely back from Milan's point of view with Antonioli. Papin. The security of the sweeper, the back Fusi.
It was very deep then, wasn't he, Peter? Very deep. You know, Papin got the little flick on, and you think, well, is there something? Then suddenly the sweeper pops up from nowhere. So deep, they're obviously going to camp themselves in their own half when Milan get the ball.
Baresi, 5 minutes into the second half, Milan dictating the pace. But again, Torino so hard to perforate.
He's tried to set it up to clear it, and then he's tried to look for an angle to try and find a defender, but in the end he probably did the right thing, just to clear his lines and get it out.
Casagrande. Venturin. Dispossessed by Lettini. Oh, he's tucked him back. And the referee, well, he's allowed play to go on. I'm sure he saw the offence, and we'll have a word with Venturin in a moment. There's Adrian scampering back now. But surely that was a cautionable offence. The referee keeping the game flowing. Donadoni, as Milan come pouring forward. That was a late lunge. Donadoni sent hurtling to the ground.
That was a badly timed tackle, that. Donadoni just nudges the ball past and feels it's advantage. We haven't seen a lot of Donadoni, it must be said, as well. He's a very influential player for Milan, and we haven't seen him do his bits and pieces on the edge of the penalty area. We'd like to see him get in there, because something's got to be done if they're going to win this game.
Albertini. There was just a hint of a flick on then from Papin. Don't know if he got a touch or not. If he had have done, and it had been a decisive one, that surely would have been a goal. No.
He just missed it there, but if it had got a touch on it, as you say, I think they would have been in the back of the net.
Schifo now for Torino. Milan players looking for an offside flag. Certainly Aguilera looked to have strayed.
Yes, it's given offside. Soon as they get pressure on the ball, Schifo had the ball there, they had pressure on the ball in midfield, and the back four just came out so quickly. I've seen them do it time and time again. It's very difficult to play against.
Yes, there are actually two offside then. Position given over the far side, and Aguilera was also off. Here's Torino again. Trying to break out of their own half. Baresi is there. Perfectly timed tackle. Boban. Couldn't get away though from Cois. Schifo. Aguilera. Cois. Foul on Aguilera.
It's a lovely way that Aguilera there, he's just screened the ball from him. He knows the guy's coming, look, he keeps his body in between the ball and man, and he just invites the tackle and gets a foul. That's the sort of thing that he needs to be doing further up the pitch, and that would cause Milan a few problems.
Annoni taking the kick. On by Casagrande, away by Maldini. And again, the flag is up for offside.
Very frustrating to play against, but one thing it does do, it gains you possession. Milan are continually getting possession from their offside track.
Barrow, it was going nowhere though. Costacurta, Donadoni. Safe catch for Marco Gianni. Boban going down. No of a foul.
It's great to see the goalkeeper come that far out to collect that catch there. A lot of confidence in coming that far, especially when there was an attacker going in there. I didn't quite see whether there was a push or anything, but nice and confident from the keeper.
He got a couple of clangers in the recent international, Marco Gianni, but he's looking very confident in this game today. Goes Sordo. No way past Antonioli. Two of the best young goalkeepers in Italian football on view today. Venturin. Forward by Schifo. Costacurta, who hooked it clear. Boban's pass. Annoni was there. Into the second half, and still no sign of this first goal, and we haven't had a goalless game yet in our matches on Channel 4. Let's hope it doesn't turn out that way today. The odds against them 5-1, I'm told. Boban, checked by Cois.
There's a definite foul there. The problem is there, though, for the referee, he was never going to get the ball. The ball had gone 7-8 yards away from him, and when the foul was made. So it's always a difficult decision for referees to make there.
Albertini to Baresi. Torino with almost everybody back behind the ball. Only Aguilera forward, and he's still in his own half. Albertini's pass, and it'll be a corner to Milan. down the right.
It was a lovely little run, wasn't it? A lovely little pass inside the fullback, and another couple of inches, I think it would give him the space to get a decent crossing. But another set-piece corner now for them, and let's see if they can turn it into advantage.
Lentini, chance to cross it back in again. Boban couldn't get there. It was a misclearance, really, a miskick by Sordo. They've got away with it. Grande, who's one of the strikers in the side, doing a lot of defensive duties today. Baresi now. Oh, Milan possession. Well, they can't turn it into goals. It's Boban. Almost pulled down there. Annoni, who's really stretching. Away by Vecchiorin. Now Gambaro to Donadoni. Milan looking to turn the screw here. Lentini's cross. Boban checked in his stride.
Very surprised there when Boban got in behind that he didn't go down for the penalty, because he was definitely foul tugged, and I was waiting for him to just go down, and I think the referee would have given a penalty there.
It's danger for Milan here now. Aguilera. Casagrande. The momentum has died a little. Here's Coes. And Gambaro. Let it run through to Musi. Maybe he had a call then. And Musi tugging back. And I think he's had a yellow card already.
Yes.
So it will have to be a red one now for Musi. 2 yellow cards make 1 red one. And Torino, as if they didn't have enough problems containing Milan, are now down to 10 men.
That's a senseless thing to do there from Musi. Look, he's a bit frustrated. He's lost the ball, but look, there's no danger there. You only make that sort of foul if you've got to make that sort of foul. If it's do or die, and he's going to score a goal. Silly position to get sent off, and that's going to make it very difficult for Torino now to sustain this point that they look as if they might have got. And it's now up to Milan to really assert and use the extra man.
Well, his coach, I'm sure, will be absolutely furious with him. That was so senseless. The former Milan player, Musi. And he's given his team now an unnecessary problem. Here's another sending off. Fiorentina goalkeeper Marigini has been dismissed. But Batistuta has equalised for Fiorentina. Away to Cagliari, so it's now 1-1. Fiorentina's goalkeeper sent off. So Torino with a little bit of readjusting to do now.
I think Casagrande's dropped a little bit deeper on the left side of midfield there for them, and they're going to leave the Uruguayan Aguilera up front all on his own.
Baresi, the crowd urging him forward. Van Basten, good turn, caught though by Casagrande. Here's Annoni. Van Basten, a rueful smile, he is penalised.
It's certainly been a competitive game. You know, both teams are sitting at the top of that table, and Torino will desperately want to hold on to this possible point that they look as if they could get, and Milan for sure are going to go for the throat now they're down to 10 men.
We've had an hour, we haven't had a goal, plenty of incident. Maybe Capello will think about a switch with his resources on the bench, awaiting their chance. Boban, Papin has pulled into the middle with Van Basten, and Maldini forward too. Boban, well, they get a cross in there.
Did very well to find the space there to get that cross.
And just as I suggested there might be a substitution, it looks as if we're going to have one, because Massaro is going to come on. I think Gambaro, indeed it is, who is going to be replaced. So the super sub makes his entrance, getting a great reception from the Milan fans. He's really popular here. And had been playing so well that even been talk of an international recall for him at the age of 31.
he normally affects the game when he does come on for Milan, and it's a very good tactical. The reason, obviously, they've taken the full-back off. They're down to 10 men, Torino. They don't need 4 at the back.
Boban, the corner fisted away by Marchegiani. Saro taking the throw. Albertini. Schifo. Lovely footwork by him. Great combination there with Fusi. Schifo unlucky. You'd have admired that, Ben.
What a shame, yes. That was the best part of the game. Some lovely 1-2 touch football there. And if they could have got themselves out of that and perhaps got the ball into the Milan half, that would have been a super bit of football.
Maldini. Looking for Van Basten. Boban! In goes Papa! Everybody appeals, and a free kick given to Torino. Boban, very unlucky there. From the unselfish header down by Van Basten.
There was a great little knockdown from Van Basten, and I thought this was going to be the turning point. Great little volley, look at that scissor kick. Fantastic save. And he kept, let's be fair, the defender really kept a cool head there on the line. I think it was Casagrande, and just caught Papin's hand. Good decision by the referee again, but I really thought that was going to be the turning point in the game.
Got away by Maldini. Maldini again, it was his cross that found Van Basten. Baresi sweeps it wide. Massaro. They're going to win it back. Massaro. Giving it away. Albertini. Massaro. Torino survive this pressure. Baresi. This is Maldini. Van Basten linking with Donadoni. Costa will have to chase it. Nobody from Torino was too interested in pursuing it. Baresi. Of course, be a tremendous feather in Torino's cap if they can hold Milan. Torino down to 10 men. The foul on Papin.
There's another foul there. You see Bruno, he's been tight on Papin all day, and straight ball played up to him, and he's gone down the back of his leg. Nasty foul.
So yet another opportunity from the free kick for Milan. Very close in the first half, remember, when Albertini's shot was deflected wide. This time it's Boban, and it hit Van Basten. Well, that could have tested Marchegiani, that had gone through.
A little bit unfortunate there. He's got a great strike, Boban. He's going, goalwards, and on a surface like that, might have come out of the goalkeeper's hand. Anything could have happened, but it's hit Van Basten on the heel, and that's the way things are going at the moment for Milan.
Albertini now. Here's Maldini. Van Basten calling at the far post. Didn't get to him though because Annoni was there. Baresi now. Content just to defend and maybe hope for a breakaway. Showing of a second goal now for Roma, so it's 2-3 against pressure, so the comeback continues. And that's the second goal for Carnevali, the former Napoli player. Almost at the halfway point in the second half, in the San Siro. Milan 0, Torino 0. Costa with the header. Here's Donadoni. Costa Curta, neat play off it by Donadoni. Latini on his way, Annoni covering. Costa Curta. Everybody joining in the attacks now for Milan. That came off Annoni. Another corner.
You just get the feeling that with another 25 minutes to go, whether Torino are going to be able to hold out. They're pushing everyone forward from the back now. Baresi has pushed Maldini down on the left side. He gets forward. They're just going to give everything now to get this goal, and it's going to be interesting to see if Torino can hold on.
Van Basten and Maldini both on the edge of the area. That's far too close to Marchegiani. Who's excelled himself in the Torino goal, as he will be hoping to do for the Italian national side if he holds on to his place.
He's looked a very good goalkeeper. Sorry, Peter. He's looked a very good goalkeeper today, and there's two magnificent saves he's had in the second half already. And it could be the difference between the two sides at the end of the day.
Donadoni for Van Basten. Now Boban. Marchegiani was the most consistent goalkeeper in Serie A last season, and he's continued in that vein. Boban's influence, though, beginning to grow now in this match.
Yeah, I think he's pushed himself inside a little bit. If you see him now, he's in the centre of the park, and I think they've pushed Maldini on the left side where he was playing in the first half, and he's getting himself involved in a lot of things just in and around the penalty area for Milan. He's looking dangerous now.
Baresi. Pass from Maldini, linking with Papin, who's been relatively quiet. Of course, is so dangerous whenever the ball is anywhere around the penalty box. Sordo now. Ran straight into Maldini. Gianluca Sordo. Getting a run in the side with Ventini having moved on to Milan. So a real chance to make a name for himself, Sordo, this season. Maldini. Cut out by Schifo. Aguilera now, looking for support. Here's Schifo. Excellent pass by him. Now, what can Jankovic do here? Faced by Massaro. Very nearly turned him, too.
Lovely ball from Schifo there, just opening the play. And it's going to be very difficult for them for Torino to play in Milan's half because of the, they're only down to 10 men. But if there's anyone who's going to do it and penetrate for Torino, it's going to be Schifo. He's had an excellent game today.
9 goals from Schifo last season. He was the top scorer for Torino. And he's got 3 so far this season. Donadoni's pass here to Van Basten. Donadoni has gone with him. Sordo trying to close down the space as well. Donadoni with the cross. Here's Lentini now. Trying to shake off Coes. Still Lentini. Schifo and Coes between them, outmanoeuvring him.
Good defending from young Coes there. He was in the penalty area, and you think, well, don't dive in, you could give away a penalty here. But he kept his head, waited for him to get out of the penalty area, and then made his challenge.
And again, Schifo was threatening to set something up then for Torino, but it all breaks down. The final pass from Venturin. News of the Juventus Ancona match now. And it's 4-1. Roberto Baggio has scored for Juventus. And 2 players from Ancona have been sent off. So they're down to 9. Torino down to 10 here, and so are Fiorentina. Massaro. Torino continuing to soak up the pressure, but for how long? Costa Curta now. That was Casagrande who cleared. Aguilera. Down goes the Uruguayan. Little respite for him.
That was great play from him, though. He knows he's up there on his own. He's drawn 3 or 4 players around him, and in the end, he's got a foul. And that's the sort of thing that Torino are going to be looking from him.
Well, he had this marvellous partnership with Scuravi at Genoa. 51 goals in 2 seasons between them. And he's brought his front-running skills now then to Torino. quite a nomad, really. He's moved around the South American countries, particularly Mexico. Now, another change being made, and it's Simone who's coming on for Van Basten. So that's a bit of a turn-up. Not often that he's substituted. No, Papin's gone off. Well, the 9 was held up. Now Papin has been replaced. Papin, who's had his ups and downs since his £10 million move from Marseille to Milan.
He hasn't quite clicked yet, Papin. You know, it's taken a little time to settle into the Milan system. And today, you know, I've seen him play a lot better than that today. I think it's the right substitution at the time.
Again, good advantage play by the referee, and Sordo arriving at the far post. Might have sneaked one then. Excellent ball. The referee allowed the advantage. Schifo's pass to the far post there.
It's a wonderful ball and a great timed run there from Sordo, and it was unfortunately he could target. It's a very difficult ball to try and get. Look, it's going away from him. He's at full stretch. He did well to actually make contact on the ball, but that's one thing. Milan can't go to sleep at the back, even though they've gone down to 10 men. They've got a little, you know, enough inventiveness in their side, i.e. Schifo, who's just got a knock there, who could just open them up, and they've still got to play very professionally at the back, but obviously put them under immense pressure and hope to get that elusive goal.
Well, he got a whack in the process at Schifo, but it was excellent vision shown by him to spot the run by Sordo, and he very nearly linked up with him. Boban. Albertini. This is Lentini. Massaro's got sprinting outside him. Marco Simone, the player who's come on now for Milan, another regular goal scorer, and another man who does seem to score whenever he comes on for Milan, so they're hoping that he can change their luck. Scored indeed against Lazio when we featured Milan a few weeks ago. Now forging a partnership with Van Basten up front, with Massaro out on the right. Here's a substitution being made by Torino. We want to bring on Daniel Fortunato, the former Juventus player. Well, I find that hard to believe, Schifo, although of course he had the injury, so that has to be the reason.
He's been hobbling around since he got that knock. He has been hobbling, but I think it's a very quick decision to make. I would have perhaps given him a couple of more minutes to see if he was going to be okay. He is limping, but I think it was worth a couple of more minutes to see if he could have run it off. If it is just a tactical thing, then I would say he's made a mistake there.
He had an absolutely outstanding match, Enzo Schifo, the Belgian international. Great authority shown by him. Had that chance in the first half, beaten away by Antonioli. And he was always a threat. Always probing, and so much hard work from him too.
Yes, he's had a great game today, and it's a shame now that he's off the park, because I think it'll take a lot of the Torino thrust away, and then maybe nicking a goal at the other end.
Milan will be delighted to see the back of Enzo Schifo. Van Basten, I'm sure, will be delighted to see the last of Andoni, who's marked him so well. Andoni and Bruno. Marcos on Papin and Van Basten, and now Simone on for Papin.
It's got to be said, every ball that's been played in so far in the game, Torino's defence, and whether it be the defenders or the goalkeeper, have handled things tremendously well, and they've looked very assured defensively.
15 minutes to go. Baresi. This is Maldini. The top two still unable to find a goal between them. Most of the possession, of course, belonging to Milan, but all credit to Torino for the way they've defended. Not just in desperation either. That pass almost sneaked in there. Massaro taking the throw. Costa Curta. Now Albertini. Baresi's gone forward. This is Van Basten, who can turn so sharply. Just beyond Lentini. Just over the line for the corner.
Wonderful turn from Van Basten. It's the first time we've really seen him in the penalty area with the ball at his feet, and he's a dangerous player when he's in that situation. He's floated a lovely little ball, but you know, Milan were a little bit slow linking up with him and on his wavelength. But if they can get more ball into Van Basten to his feet in the penalty area, then they might get something from him.
Free kick to Torino. Atalanta now leading Napoli by 3-1. 2 from Maurizio Gatz in the second half. 1-1 at half-time. So Napoli are having a bit of a struggle this season, and their coach is under some pressure. That won't help his case today. 3-1 down to Atalanta. Away by Costa Curta. This is Simone. Albertini, Donadoni. A lot of movement ahead of him. Here's Maldini now. Fusi.
Good,
Who's the league championship winner with Napoli.
Great challenge from Sordo there. Maldini's got to the byline. Looks as if he's going to whip in a dangerous cross, but he's worked ever so hard to get back there and got a great block.
Lettini. How dearly he would love a goal today against the club he left behind.
I've seen referees give a free kick in situations like that this season. It's got a slight deflection there on the defender. The goalie's picked it up, and this year, certainly in our division, in our football, we've been given free kicks against us and certain things like that.
A contender for the man of the match award, I think. He's kept the game going, and he's been harsh when he's needed to be. Boban. Still Milan pouring forward. Donadoni now. Here's the support from Albertini, who has a venomous shot.
That's a terrific effort, absolutely wonderful. It looks as if he's just going to slide it out to the right. One step wallop, and that's a magnificent save again. Marco Gianni's having an absolute blinder today.
He really had to stretch there, as Van Basten did. Marco Gianni, though, to the rescue once more for Torino. It's a marvellous game, and he will look back on this afternoon, especially if it stays this way, as one to treasure. Still no goals here, but Inter have taken the lead now against Pescara. They're 2-1 up. Inter away from home. Battistini with a second goal there for Inter. Aguilera. Well, he's coming for a lot of punishment today, Aguilera, but he's stuck at it.
I don't think that was a foul there, though, Peter. I think he conned the referee on that one. But he's had a terrific little game for him. Yeah, he's done very well, led the line for them, and certainly in the last stages of the game, it's going to be important that he can hold the ball up for Torino and give them a little bit of a breathing space from the defensive duties.
The 10 men holding on. Free kick to Milan.
Of course, the other thing at the moment, you can see the anxiety in the players of Milan, and certainly the crowd. The crowd are starting to get onto people if they're making little mistakes. They obviously expect, now that they've gone down to 10 men, Torino, that Milan should really be playing a lot better and get that goal.
They have a free kick for the foul by Bruno on Lentini. Work maybe here for Marchegiani to do. Look to be some holding there. Massaro fires it back in, away by Annoni. Had a good long hard look, he was well placed, and he just turned away. And in his eyes, there was no infringement there. Donadoni now, looking for the byline, whipping back the cross to Sordo away. Albertini through. Here's Sordo. Moresi's firm challenge from Aguilera. Albertini to Donadoni. Moresi riding the tackle.
Milan have definitely upped the tempo a little bit. Putting a lot of pressure now on Torino. Albertini has ended up on the edge of the penalty area a couple of times now and put some great shots in at goal. One was a great save by the keeper, but that one got blocked again.
Out of play. Moresi failed to keep it in. It's a throw then to Torino, who have an important UEFA Cup match coming up in the week. Away to Dinamo Moscow, having lost the home leg by 2-1. They certainly haven't held themselves back today. How could they in this, the light of this continuous wave of attacks from Milan? Zaro, Lentini. Cois is there, caught by Lentini, down goes Bruno. The sinner is sinned against.
Yes, it's normally the other way around, but
I don't think I get a lot of sympathy.
I don't think it is, certainly from the crowd there behind. He's not going to get much sympathy from the referee by the looks of things as well.
I think he fell over Lentini's leg then, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he fell over, but he's made a meal of it, and look, he's still down lying there now. Obviously, that's going to make the time tick away. A few minutes tick away. Perhaps the referee might forget to put the time on, and I think that's what they're looking for.
So some attention for Bruno. And some urgent advice from Capello, the coach of Milan. We've seen his team struggle to find just the one goal that could surely win them this game now. Bruno miraculously seems to be all right. Not dead after all. And the referee is telling him to get on with it. It's a free kick to Torino. And only steals a few more yards.
I thought the referee had told him to go off, and I couldn't understand why, but it was obviously shin pads, yes.
I thought he had a coat of armour on. He was playing. Yellow card, Sordo. Look for Bruno here.
Bruno. Well, that is a strange decision. That is a strange decision to book him. I mean, he's got them in his hands. He's obviously going to wait for the ball to be dead until he was going to put his pads back on. It's a very strange decision. If it causes a goal,
They won't be too happy.
no, you're right.
Simone didn't find Massaro. Aguilera quite able to reach it. So Milan can start all over again. News of another sending off. Giannini, the former Italian international, has been sent off for Roma now. And Juventus have scored a 5th goal against Ancona.
Got himself in a great position again, Albertini there, but his first touch just let him down. If his first touch was spot on, he could have had another shot from a similar position that he had a couple of minutes ago. His first touch just let him down, which was unusual.
5 minutes left. Milan 0, Torino 0. Lentini, he's just taken that too far. It's a goal kick. The incident again where he gets the shin pads. Too late for the referee's liking.
I don't think they'll be any good in the relay. In the handover. That's an unfortunate booking there, though, for Bruno, because he's obviously waiting for the game to go dead before he would put the pads on. He's held them in his hand, which would be the right thing to do. The ball hadn't gone out of play for a throw-in or a corner, and he's booked him. And that's probably the only mistake the referee's made all day.
Well, now another substitution being made. Aguilera, who's toiled away up front, is going off now. He's had a real battering, limping away. And getting a great round of applause, I'm sure, from the Torino fans. And on comes Silenzi, former Torino player, former Napoli player. Didn't really work out for him at Napoli. Hoping to revive his career after a flourish of goals from his days in Serie B.
Aguilera worked extremely hard up front. He was on his own for most of the game, and obviously getting a little bit tired. And it's a good idea really to bring some fresh legs on.
Costa Curta, Van Basten, only partially cleared and whacked over the bar. Well, Boban had the chance to win it then for Milan.
Yes, Van Basten's shrivelled round on one. It's good clearance, good defending there, and that's possibly the best chance that Milan have had all during the game. It's fallen to Boban again. He had an effort saved earlier on, but that really should have hit the target. Some good defending after Van Basten's turn and shot, but that was the chance that they were waiting for.
Ball clearance by Marchegiani. No damage was done. Whistles now from the Milan fans, who can't believe that their team haven't managed to win this game, having had so much of the ball. Torino's reputation for being so mean at the back remains intact. Costa Curta. It's a good cross in from Massaro. Down goes Van Basten. Feels for the corner. And the applause of Bruno will tell you it's a goal kick.
Who's done a magnificent defending job for Torino today is Casagrande. I've never seen him play so deep, but he's got himself back in there, put his head on the ball, and it's come in from dangerous set pieces. And him and Bruno really have held things together back there.
Maldini. Again, everybody back for Torino. Almost everybody forward. Apart from Antonioli for Milan. Costa Curta now. Baresi. Donadoni. Time beginning to run out for Milan. Only a couple of minutes to go, and they force the corner. Donadoni will take the kick. Bettini in there. Driven back through, get back off Marchegiani. Massaro shot. And he thought he'd won it then.
Yes, he's got himself in the free area and the back stick there from that corner. It's important that they get the flicks on the corners. They haven't been doing that. They did on that occasion.
Donadoni. Annoni somehow just squirted away from him.
Look at the bodies that they got in front of the goalkeeper in the 6-yard box was amazing there.
Donico, the coach, his team's so close to what they will regard as a famous result, holding Milan here. Boban. Surely that's too long, no? Van Basten looking at the far post. And it's a free kick to Torino. We're only a few seconds away now from achieving the draw, which they've clearly set out to do.
I think that was a good 50-50 challenge. I couldn't see a foul there. It was a brave decision from the referee at this stage of the game. With the Milan supporters baying for blood at the moment.
We're into time added on for stoppages. Marchegiani's kick. Just hopefully forward, really, trying to squander a few more seconds. Baresi now will pump it back again. Donadoni. Milan throw. Simone. Goes in quickly. They've with such determination, Torino.
Been very impressed with Coes. He's defended tremendously well. He's only a youngster. He's kept his cool, and he's been as good as anyone back there for Torino.
Baresi. Costa thought about the shot, thought better of it. Massaro to drive it back in. That was deflected and safely into the arms of Marchegiani.
Great handling from the goalkeeper. He was under immense pressure there from the Milan attackers coming, breathing in down on him. As the ball comes in here, look, it's driven, deflected, and kept a nice cool head under pressure.
Almost 2 minutes now of stoppage time. The whistle's gone. I think it's a free kick to Milan. The Torino players thought it was the final whistle. Casagrande, I think, pleading with him that he wants it to be the final whistle.
Yes,
but it isn't. There's still time for Milan.
This could be their last chance for Milan. It's in a terrific position for them. Well,
push by Noni.
A little bit of a push there, yeah. Silly time to give a push. There was no real danger. It was a ball just thumped into the area, and they've now got to defend this free kick in a dangerous position.
Simone is there, and Boban, and Baresi. Marchegiani prowling on his goal line, trying to retain his composure, hoping that defensive wall will do its job in front of him. Towering figure of Silenzi in there, Fortunato. Touched off to Simone, charged down. Albertini, again the deflection. And again, Van Basten just fails to turn it in. It's not Milan's day.
Look at that, it's come for a ruck of players. Van Basten's at full stretch, just couldn't get enough contact to guide it into the goal. It's just not been Milan's day.
Furious finish by Milan. And still, they can't find this elusive first goal. We've had now almost 3.5 minutes of injury time. Still Torino holding on. And there is the final whistle. And it's 0-0. And somehow Torino have managed this goalless draw, down to 10 men. My word, they defended with great bravado, particularly in the second half, in the weight of some pretty fearsome pressure from Milan, who weren't at their best today, but you felt had enough possession, had enough of the play to have found a goal from somewhere.
Yes, they didn't quite fire on their full cylinders today, Milan, but they had enough possession, they had enough chances at the end of the day to really win the match. But you must say that Torino did defend very well. They set their stall out early doors when they had full 11 players, but when they went down to 10 men, every ball that went into the penalty area, they made sure they put their head on it, and they defended very well.
Well, let's look back then, Glenn, on some of the near misses, and there were quite a few of them. And this was the early chance here for Torino, Aguilera.
Yeah, it was a little ball from Casagrande. They've tried to play them off side Milan, and really that's, looking at that, it was a hell of a good chance to go one up. He's looked across, he's onside, and the goalkeeper stood up, made a good save, and he's going to be a little bit unhappy with himself in not finishing that, Aguilera.
And at that stage, this was Schifo. In fact, Torino creating the best chances early on.
Yes, Schifo, look, he tees it up, nice first touch, a superb volley, straight at the goalkeeper, and you know, he was lucky there that it rebounded down to a Milan defender. I would have liked to have seen the goalkeeper hold that.
Well, most of the opportunities otherwise in the first half fell to Milan. This was Albertini with the free kick.
Yeah, Albertini's hit a nice free kick. I think the goalkeeper had it covered. It's hit the wall and spun just past the post, and in the last few months, really, they're the sort of things maybe that have been going for Milan, and today that was the sort of thing that just wasn't going to be. It wasn't going to be their day. Another example of this is a terrific corner swung out and a wonderful volley, right-footed from Maldini. And look, is it Casagrande or is it the post that clears that? I think it definitely gets
off the bar.
Yeah, off the bar, and you know, another chance goes missing from Milan. But it was a fantastic bit of play from Maldini.
Now here's the header down from Van Basten. That's Boban. That's as good a chance as any, really.
That's a great chance, a great little knockdown from Van Basten. Great technique and skill, but what a save. I mean, the goalkeeper for me has been the man of the match. You know, Marco Gianni's had a terrific game, and he's pulled off some marvellous saves to keep them in the game.
Well, Milan riding their luck, and here was a rare moment of danger at the other end. It was a cross from Schifo.
Yeah, it was the only real chance I had in the second half. It was a half chance, a very difficult ball, but it was a shame to see Schifo go off injured, because he was the one that was making them tick. But I was impressed with Sordo, the lad that got up there on the far post. All day he worked very hard down the right side for Torino, and very impressive. This is a fantastic save. That is going straight into the top corner, again from Alberetti, and from the centre of the pitch again, and a wonderful save. They've definitely had the opportunities to bury Torino, and this is probably the easiest one. If he hits that on target, I think that's a goal. That would have been unstoppable. But they've had the chances, but, you know, on the day, they haven't had the luck that goes with it.
So 0-0 it finishes in the San Siro. The first point dropped by Milan this season. The other scores just coming in now. Atalanta beaten Napoli by 3-2, so another setback there for Ranieri's team. Cagliari 2, Fiorentina 1, so Cagliari just got there in the end. And Maragini, the Fiorentina goalkeeper, sent off. Oliveira got the winner there for Cagliari in the very last minute. Foggia 1, Parma 0, and another sending off there. Fornaciara of Foggia sent off. Biagioni with a winning goal, and that was in the very last minute as well, a penalty. Juventus 5, Ancona 1. Dino Baggio, Roberto Baggio, Di Canio, Di Marchi. And in fact, a second goal for Roberto Baggio 5 minutes from time. And Ruggieri and Sogliano were sent off for Ancona, so they were down to 9 men there. Pescara 1, Inter 4. 2 goals for Battistini, Desideri, and in the last minute, Matthias Sammer. So a comfortable win in the end there for Inter, still going strong. Roma 2, Brescia 3, so the comeback didn't quite bear fruit for Roma. They were 3-0 down, remember. Giannini was sent off for them. And the latest score from Sampdoria, they're now leading Genoa by 3-1. That's the latest score. The match delayed by 7 minutes. And finally, Udinese 0, Lazio 0. So that's a wrap-up of all the results, latest scores from Serie A this afternoon. Milan still out in top, of course. From us, from Glenn Hoddle and myself, goodbye for now.
Campionato di calcio italiano.